Alright, tubers. Madam Roy back once again. Back to you from my room, which I don't usually do with these live streams. I'm actually trying to get this set up the way I'd like it to be. There we go. This is not going to be a very long live stream, but this is something that I thought about the other day, and I think a lot of you that have been watching my progress, watching my weight loss for any length of time probably wonder, and I've gotten some personal questions about this, like, Matt, how do you exercise on a bad day? How do you get a full cardio workout in on a rainy, dreary, cold day? Now, this was perfect because in my case, it is very rainy out and very damp. Not too cold today, but to the point where we cannot work out outside. And since this is technically my rest day, I figured this would be a perfect time, like wink wink, right, to go ahead and show you guys what I do. So I'm not going to be taking questions on this live stream. It's just not going to happen because I'm going to be doing this from across the room. If I see a couple towards the end, I might answer them, but basically this is just going to be an informative video. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys down here. And yes, I realize I'm going to have to talk up because I'm literally talking from across the room. So basically, this is what I used to do back when I lived in New York in the 90s. There was a exercise video out called Walk Aerobics and Advanced Walk Aerobics. Leslie Sansone, now back then she was known as Leslie Tamalio, put this out. And she had some great exercises you could do inside on a rainy day. And I'm going to start with the basic. And a lot of you military guys out there will probably know this right off the bat. And it's basically just a modified march. It's basically what we call walking in place. So to get your heart rate up, you want to go ahead and start doing this. Now, you can move your arms. That's fine. And actually, it's encouraged because that actually gets your blood pumping faster. And doing this will actually help decrease the fat buildup here and even those love handles if you really want to get into it. But for the purposes of this video, I'll just do this lightly. Now, this is how the video would start. Ideally, you'd probably want to be doing this in shorts. Right now, I'm actually in these sweatpants that don't necessarily have a lot of give, so I'm just going to do the best that I possibly can. Now, you want to go ahead and do this. On the video, I think she did this for about 2 or 3 minutes. Wasn't that long at all, but basically, as you're doing this, you want to increase your speed. And then the idea is to get your knees as high as possible. When I used to watch her on the video, some of the people, including Leslie Sansone herself, used to get her knees almost up to, I guess you would call this your upper stomach. Now, for me, that's a little tricky, especially in these sweats. So I'm just going to do the best I can. Right now, this is the first step, okay? Now we've gotten this down pat. She would do this, like I said, for 2 or 3 minutes. And then she would add another movement. She would take her arms, go like this, and with the same thing, start going up like this. And then you would rotate it too, because you want to go like this, put your arms up in the air, and then push, 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 push. Basically here you're just working different muscles and you want to rotate back and forth. Do this, I don't know, maybe for about 4 or 5 minutes. And then she would have a rest period. She would just stand there for maybe 30 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead and move my chair out of the way. And then she would alternate. If you guys look at my feet down here, I'm going to start going like this. Side, 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 basically one at a time. So do, and then she would swing her arms kind of like this with my feet going side to side. And then for those of you out there that have love handles like I still do, not as much as I used to, but I do still have them, you can swing or twist, 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 twist. And it should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. You definitely want to make sure you have your shoes on for this, because I have seen people do this kind of workout before in socks or in maybe some slippers, and not a good end. A lot of times that's how you develop plantar fasciitis and numerous other foot problems. So whenever you're doing these exercises inside, I know, please make sure you wear your shoes. So after doing this for just a few minutes, we're going to switch up again. We're going to start marching in place, and we're going to go back to doing this. And as your time increases, you want to go ahead and start going faster. Now, I'll be the first one to admit I am not the most coordinated person, so I'm sure I'll get a lot of laughs from people like, Matt, you look like you're all over the place. Well, I do the best I possibly can. Out, 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 out. And then, for whatever reason, they didn't do this one too much, but this is called the push. So it's push forward, push out, and then push up. And I'm telling you, doing this back in the day, my arms, my muscles were ripped. Probably when I was 14 or 15. And then, of course, life happened, and I started to backslide a little bit. So, you know what? It happens, but point is, I'm here trying to get healthy, and I'm here to help you guys do that as well. So, side to side, and these were hour-long exercises. So basically, it was doing a combination of these exercises for an hour long, warm-up period in the beginning, then a cool-down period at the end. Now, to be perfectly honest, these tapes were from the late 80s, early 90s. And since then, we have learned that the warm-up is still important, but the cool-down period is not so important. They used to think that the cool-down period was important to get your heart rate down, basically so you wouldn't collapse afterwards of something like a heart attack. But we've learned that it really doesn't matter that much anymore. If you feel more comfortable doing a cool-down, by all means do it. Basically, all you'll do for a cool-down is you're going to slow down for a few minutes there at least. And you're going to, again, you could cycle through the various exercises. And then you can slow down. And then once you've done that, after about 4 or 5 minutes, usually it's a 5-minute warm-up, 5-minute cool-down. And then you're done. Now, like I've said before, this is my rest day, so I'm not actually going to do the full exercise, but hopefully this gives you guys a good idea of something that you can do inside for cardio, and you can do this any day. Doesn't matter if it's snowing, sleeting, freezing rain, if it's 5 degrees below zero, if you're inside, you can be nice and warm, you can have your heater in the background, and you can still reach your fitness goals. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys something else I've been doing. Weights. When it comes to weights, you want to start off lightly. If you haven't been bodybuilding at all, probably want to start off with something like 3 or 5 pound weights for the ladies. Guys can start with 5 or 8 pound weights. I'm just going to be using these 8 pound weights because this is what I actually have with me right now. I do have some 10 pound weights, but they're in the storage somewhere, and I need to find them. So when I work out with weights, what I like to do is still march in place. It's not required, you don't have to do it, but it actually combines the cardio and the weight building all in one. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that again for the purposes of this video so I can show you what weights I usually do. First, I like to do these. And I don't know the technical names for these. I believe this one's just called an arm lift. And I'll usually count like 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and then I'll usually count up to about 10 or 15 depending on how I'm feeling that day. Now, to be honest with you, I actually did weights earlier, so I'm not going to do the full rep again because that's something you want to be careful of. If you haven't done a lot of weights in the past, you want to alternate days. So you can do this one day, make the next day your rest day, then the day after that you can start up again. So that was one, and then sometimes I'll do them together, though this is a little bit harder for me. So I like to do them separately like that. Another one that is really good for building upper body strength quick are these pushes or presses. I'm not exactly sure, again, the technical name for it. Basically, you're going to hold your weights out like this, bring them into the middle, towards your face, out. As you bring them in, you're actually bringing them up a little bit as well. Now, these are very hard to do, especially with 8-pound weights. These things are really, really heavy. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Now, the curls. This is probably the one I've known for the longest time, and a lot of you guys probably know this one. But basically, you're going to hold your weights out here, basically arms straight, and you're just going to curl them up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let me see how many watchers. We have 6 watchers and 1 like. Go ahead and click that like button if you like these videos, please. That is very important to me. Helps me grow my viewership. And for those of you that haven't watched my channel for a while, I have surpassed 5,000 subscribers right now, sitting at about 5,005, somewhere around there. So that's all on you guys. You guys have been instrumental in helping me build this channel. And I think from there, the sky is the limit. All right, for this one, I'm going to back up a little bit more so you guys can actually see me. Basically, I'm going to be putting my arm up here, and I'm going to straighten it up. So elbow, cock down, straight, down, straight, down, straight. And I'm going to continue to do that. Again, these I would do individually. You can do them both at once, but that is really hard on the body. At least for me. You guys are going to be at different levels than I am. I'm a novice when it comes to weightlifting, so I have to do things very carefully. Plus, I do have a medical condition that's basically low upper body strength, which means I have to be very careful when weightlifting. And when you do this, you want to make sure your elbows are as close to your side as possible. With me, that's about as close as I can get physically. And basically, I'm going to do about 5 or 6 of these because once again, I actually already did my weight reps before and I am really, really starting to sweat. So, another thing that is key is to have a good sweat rag. I like to use a good cotton rag. This is just something I get from the dollar store. This is actually a cotton face towel. Works just fine. I actually like the ones from Dollar Tree because they're a little bit rougher. So as I'm wiping the beads of sweat away, I'm actually exfoliating my face at the same time. Again, you guys can use whatever you want, but believe me, if you're doing this for 30 minutes, half an hour, whatever you can spare, you're going to build up a nice sweat. So this is instrumental. Usually, I'll just keep it just like that. And as you can see right now, another top tip, I am actually wearing one of my old shirts. Before I lost all the weight, this shirt barely fit me. And as you can see now, this is literally down to my knees now. But when you're working out like this, you definitely don't want to ruin a good shirt. So, if you're doing this in the middle of the day, maybe you're off work for lunch or something, and you made it home or you're in a break room somewhere, bring just a bum shirt with you. Take your work shirt off, put this on, do your exercises. Make sure you bring a lot of good cologne or some deodorant. And yes, I do have some of that with me here too. Use the Suave stuff. Works as good as anything. You can use the roll-on stuff, but I like the spray deodorant. And yeah, just try to be as sanitary as possible because this kind of sweat can smell really bad. Especially, again, if you're doing this halfway between your workday. Yeah, you don't want to offend anybody. So, that's about all the tips I have for you. Since this isn't going to take as long as I thought, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little breather here and go ahead and try to answer some of your questions. I saw that we had a few. See what we got. Eric Brunhammer. Hola. Funny, funny, funny. George Blakely. Hey, Matt. Enjoying the live stream. You look great. Well, thank you very much. I try not to show myself full body, at least in the past, just because I was so insecure about my weight. Now that I've lost some weight, I'm a little bit better at it. I'm really hoping by the summertime I'll have lost enough that I'd be comfortable going out in a bathing suit. That's my goal, and I'm pretty sure I can get there at least by May, maybe June. If I can get down maybe another 10 or 20 pounds, and I won't feel so self-conscious going shirtless like at the beach or something. But I really appreciate you guys sticking here with me. This is just something I've done spur of the moment, like I do a lot of the stuff. We got 7 watchers, 3 likes right now. Just for those of you that are just coming in, this is a exercise live stream, or basically teaching you how to do a cardio workout inside on a rainy day. So if you have any exercise related or fitness related questions, go ahead and you can ask me them right now. I'll wait just a couple of minutes. I don't think we have any new questions here. Basically everybody's saying hi. Tyler, George Blakely, Pro Gamer 11, and Eric Brunhammer. If you have anything specific, don't be shy. Go ahead and you can ask me. I'll give you guys a little snippet, since it's here on the table anyway, of my probably going to be my next video. Might be, at least let's say this is going to be the next tech-related video. And this is something I picked up at JCPenney the other day. Ooh, Victrola. This is the portable Bluetooth turntable. That's all I'm going to show you guys of it. I know that a lot of people are going to say, Matt, how can you do that? That's going to destroy your records. No, it's not. It's definitely not. But I want to see how good it is anyway. So that's going to be the next electronics-related video. Eric Brunhammer, of course, I'm watching a live stream about exercise just as I sat down after getting some lunch. Uh-oh. What did you have for lunch, Eric? Come on. Come on. Let's be honest here. It's reveal time. Did you get something good to eat, or did you get something fattening? I'll give him a minute to respond. He may not want to. Oh, excuse me. My throat is very, very dry. Tyler, need to work out a bit. Work out too, but I'm lazy. Well, yeah, I think we all have to. But Tyler, I've seen you. You don't need it as bad as I do. Couple chicken strips in an oven. Okay, all right. That's what Eric Brunhammer had. That is not a bad meal at all. You know, there are better things out there, but usually chicken strips are made with all white meat, and they are lightly fried if they were frozen ones. But there's a lot of worse stuff out there. Tyler, mussels, yeah. Best thing I could tell you to do is look for a local gym. In my area, we have something called Planet Fitness that doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It doesn't have like a pool or any of the personal classes like Zumba or step class, but they do have all of the workout, what do you call them, the barbells, and they have all of the special machines, and they're only $10 a month. So, I mean, if you find something like that, that's ideal. I mean, even those of us who are on a really, really tight budget definitely can most likely afford $10 a month. I mean, to better ourselves, I think that's a great investment. What do we got here? Sam Hodgson, I received my Galaxy S5 and I'm really enjoying it. I got a good deal due to some minor AMO LED screen blur. Yeah, I've heard about that. The camera is way better compared to the Sony M4. Hey, guess what? since you have that new phone, you can start doing your own live streams. It's really easy. Just go to your YouTube app and click Go Live. Put in the title. Do a quick thumbnail like I did holding the shoes. And you're good to go. So I'd love to see you guys start doing some more live streams. Eric Brunhammer, I know that you have done them. I think I've made it to 1 or 2, but for whatever reason, I was unable to stay. I think, you know, my life is kind of hectic here at the moment, but I promise you guys, those of you that do live streams, I will try to be there as much as possible. And of course, the great thing about doing a live stream is once it's done, if the person misses it, you know, it goes in as a regular video, and you guys can still comment if you want. You can still watch the video. So I must say, YouTube has gotten a lot better with the live streams. I remember back when they first started, it was unbearably monotonous, and the picture was terrible. I mean, half the time, I just looked like a bunch of pixelated dots on the screen. Tyler, we got them, but they are $30 a month here. Interesting. We have a place, used to be Gold's Gym, and I can't think of the name of it now, but that one is $30 a month here. But that one's got a pool, that's got all the special classes, that's got the basketball court and everything. Eric Brunhammer, I've been trying to get more money into getting better quality live streams for my computer. Yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing myself. I'm thinking about investing in a Nikon D5500 DSLR camera that has Wi-Fi, all the bells and whistles built in, and I would really love to do something like that. I hate to say this to you, Matt, but I gave up on Windows 10, all Mac now. Okay, that was from Tyler, by the way. To each his and her own. I've given up on Mac myself. I don't like the interface. I never really did. I mean, back in the day, I used to use the old Apple IIs, and I do remember OS, you know, System 6, System 7, but I'm just a PC guy. I personally love Windows 10. It works great on my Dimension XPS 8700, which is right over there in the corner. Just never have any problems with it. But once again, everybody has a different take on it. And I'm going to leave it there because this is primarily about exercise and fitness. So I'm going to give this a couple of more minutes, not too much longer, because I'm noticing the battery on my cell phone is going down pretty quickly. Mark Covington made it. Hey, Matt, how are you doing this evening? I am doing great. For those of you that missed it, I'm sure Mark did. I just showed you guys how to do a cardio workout at home inside on a bad weather day. Basically, let me know anything you want to talk about, fitness or exercise related, and these things are disappearing again. Tyler goes, I don't live stream on my phone because it gets too hot. What phone do you have again, Tyler? Go ahead and put that out there again for me, buddy. I know you told me before, but I forget. I have a real bad short-term memory. All right, waiting for it. Eric Brunhammer, my doctor was happy because I was down about 10 pounds, which is a good thing. Absolutely a good thing. I'm so glad that you're losing the weight there, buddy. Just like me. We're going to do this. Stick with me, and we'll both look great come this summer. Tyler, iPhone 6S Plus, the 128 gigabyte in the OtterBox. If I remember correctly, it was either the iPhone 5 or 6 had a firmware update that corrected the heat issue, because I think that, you know, I can't remember 100%, but I know it was one of them. It was either the 5 or 6 that had a firmware update, but I think you had to go to Apple directly to get it. You actually had to bring it to the with the Genius Bar in the Apple Store to get it fixed. Try and give that a try. If not, I'm not sure. You guys know I'm not an Apple fanboy here. You're talking to a Microsoft guy right here. Oh, okay. That makes sense too. I didn't realize that. Sam Hodgson wrote about it being in an OtterBox. I didn't think about that because, yeah, I mean, that is a really secure case. I use an OtterBox Lite, I think it's called. It's actually the one that doesn't have the screen protector on it. It's just the back protection for the back, and that's enough for me, and mine never overheats. And for those of you that don't know, I use a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. Looks like, okay, Eric, I guess he had the same issue with the S6, but he says his S8 doesn't. Yeah, my S7 doesn't either. No problems at all. Yeah, Tyler, try to bring it to the Apple Store if you get a chance. I'm thinking that they might be able to help you there, because I think it might be a combination of that OtterBox case not giving enough airflow, and maybe a firmware update. Those two things, and you know what, when you live stream, if you can, just take it out of the case. But yeah, I get your point. I mean, you don't want to wreck your phone. I mean, I mean, if I ever overheated this phone, I'd probably cry a lot, because this is my life. This is how I do everything. This is how I do the live streams, the vlogs. I take care of business on this phone, so yeah, I know how that would feel. Oh no, Scott Kearley said last week when he's getting ready for a walk, you broke your toe. Yeah, that really hurts. I've done that in the past. I'll pray for you on that one. My mother, in fact, damaged her little toe very badly. We believe it was broken. The doctor thinks it was, but there's really nothing you can do, especially if it's a little toe. You just have to let it heal on its own. Big toe, I think maybe they can set it, but yeah, best thing to do, ice it down at night. Just stay off your feet until it heals. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why. I'm very stuffed up today. It's paid off, and I had it for 2 years. Ain't that the greatest? I actually just looked at mine, and my S7, I have a couple more months before that's fully paid off. Though I could actually just pay it off early. I am right now, I think I only owe about maybe $150 on it. The way it works with mine, I have AT&T, and they take my actual service is $64 a month, and then it's $36 for paying for the phone. I pay it in installments, which I know a lot of people do that now. It's called the AT&T Next program, which I will never do again. That's kind of a ripoff, if you ask me. They used to subsidize these phones where you wouldn't have to pay anything. So it's just a way for these companies to make more money at our expense. Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. Tyler just reminded me 2 months ago, Angry Grandpa passed away. You know, I don't necessarily watch his videos I didn't watch A Kid Behind a Camera, Angry Grandpa, that often. I would catch one on occasion. They were a little over the top for my taste. That being said, I love what they did. I think Angry Grandpa was a very good person at heart. I've seen some of his rebuttal videos. And for anybody to make a life for themselves through YouTube, I have tremendous respect for. Mark Covington, hey Matt, I'm trying to uninstall Reimage, but every single time I try to uninstall it, I keep getting some kind of message making me think twice before trying to uninstall that program. What is that? I'm not too familiar with that particular program. You can always try to use something like the CC Cleaner uninstaller. If you download CC Cleaner, that has an uninstaller on it. You can maybe search for something like a removal tool, like a Reimage removal tool, to try to totally get rid of it. I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of that particular program, so try that. CC Cleaner, download that and use their uninstaller tool, or just look for Google search wherever that Reimage uninstaller is. All right, tubers, I need to end this live stream because we're getting off topic here and my phone's battery is dying. Hope you guys really enjoyed this. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as I say all the time, have a blessed day, everybody.